Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Raffz from CZT Vikki Howard. I was just nosing through Tangle patterns, and this one caught my eye. I just like the pattern. And so it is a grid-based pattern. I'm going to... Yes, I'm just going to put a little solid line border around, and we'll do a 9 square, so that way you can see the pattern. Sometimes when I do a 4 square, just depends on the tangle. Sometimes it just doesn't quite do it justice, because you want to see that the repetition, the kind of the meta patterns that come out of it. And sometimes that's hard to see when I'm only doing 4 squares. And I do the 4 squares so that way it's Quickie, hence the name. As I said last time, versus a longie. Because that's the whole idea, right? Okay, once you have your grid done, then this is very reminiscent of a classic tangle called bales. But so what we're going to do is we're going to do curved lines in each box. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the top first. And this one I'm just going to do the one side. But on the bottom, we're going to go both up above that line and below the line, basically creating a seed in there. So we're going to do these columns, and that's all we're doing. And depending on how you want to do this, because I know in Vicki's step out, she went, outside of, like she did a 9 square, but she went outside of it. I kind of like to keep it contained, but that's just me. That is also the beauty of Zentangle. We can, bring our own take to things. All right, so once you have these, then more curved lines. This time, though, and this is going to be in all of the boxes. So in each box, if you find the middle, so I'm finding the middle of this line, and I'm going to draw a curved line from the middle of the top to the middle of the left side, going back to the top, and then a curved line to the middle of the right side. So we're, and you can kind of get the picture. And then from those down towards the bottom. And then as you continue, and like I said, this is in each box, then you want to just have those kind of meet up and make the nice curved lines. And sometimes I'll eyeball this, from the top, just to find that middle easier. And we're going to do this in each one. And yes, we are going over those seeds. Well, most times we don't go over. We will do the hollow bow technique and pick up the pen instead of going over. But this one we're going over. Whoops, well, that got a little bit. Oh, well. And as you can see, if you're careful, like I just wasn't, with your curved lines, you can see these circles forming. It's like, even if they, if they're not perfect, of course it's okay. If you have been following Zentangle, been practicing Zentangle, there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. There are only opportunities occasional opportunities presented suddenly, which, oh, that's a little big. Oops. On my eraser that we never use. All right. So anyway. All right. And so like I said, if you're careful and just, and really watching that you're going from the middle to the middle and so on, 2 things, you get the nice circular motion that will, the circular the circles that are appearing, but also going from the middle to the middle. Like these boxes were a little bit bigger, and you say they were maybe more rectangular shape. Going from middle to middle kind of makes the tangle forgiving. So that way you're just doing that. You're going from middle to middle. And then also going slowly and really watching what you're doing gives us that meditative, mindful piece that is Zentangle. All right, next. Yeah, okay, so next, I'm just going to go in this middle column here. And I don't know why, I divided this up differently, but yeah, so I'm going to go in the middle column. Honestly, it probably doesn't matter. You could do, these two columns, and, well, you'll understand in a minute, because we're going to alternate shading in something else. So I have switched to my graphic 1, just to be a little quicker with the coloring in. I was at the local kind of big box craft store, and they had some of the pens on display, and I had heard that there is because like I said, it's the same brand as what I use. What I was using before was the Micron 1. This graphic one, I had heard there was a 2 and a 3, and they had them there, so I of course had to pop the cap open just to see what they look like. And they're kind of like a chisel, almost like a calligraphy type of tip. So I know that there is a 100-year anniversary kit, or set, I should say, out there at different retailers. And I'm like, I'm going to order it. And I'm like, ooh, I'll have to look and see if it has those in it too, because that's really neat. Because that way, while I'm ordering. Okay, so I have just this middle row here done. Then what we're going to do is the other 2 columns, we're going to color in that diamond that we have created. And, here's a thought. And I'm going to do this with this, and then I may pause, but after I tell you what I'm going to tell you, which as I was, I should have just told you, because now I have forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I know. And thank you for laughing with me. I hope you're laughing with me. I'll probably come and touch up the little tips with the fine point. Here's what I was going to say. As you're doing this, and I didn't think about it until, of course, now. Oh, but I can hear, that's one where I went wonky. Oh, no, that's the one where I really went, but I'm not going to fix that. Okay, so if you have a place that you're like, oh, whoops, type of thing, when we're doing this fill-in, and like this, because this is alternating, one thing that I could have done is I could have started here and done this row of the diamond shapes, and then these 2 rows of the seed shapes, and then it would have been fine. So it's one of those course corrections, although I'm going to take advantage of it right here. Let me get most of it. Looks like my thing is drying out a little bit. Because this is like the greatest course correction. And actually, sometimes it's better to just get out the fine point. And because I just want to expand it a little bit. So it does depend. You can't make stuff smaller. You can go out a little bit. And, well, I have the pen. So you can add ink, like I said, making it a little larger. And so that made that a little bit better. Okay, now I will... Sorry about that. I will hit pause really quick here, because that's all the words of wisdom I have on that. And let me finish shading this in so that way you don't have to suffer along. Now, if you are tangling right along with me, of course, hit pause, and then as soon as you're done, I'll be done, and we'll finish up. Okay? Be right back. Hit pause. Okay, it's amazing how, if you're tangling right along with me, that we finish that shading at the same time. It's amazing. All right, so the filling in. Now shading, I'm not sure. There will be a link in the description section with both my step outs as well as a link to Tangle Patterns where this tangle resides, and you can take a look. You can take a look at what Vikki did. Actually, I was kind of liking what I see that Linda did in her little thumbnail. That's kind of interesting. But shading is one of those up to you. I'm going to do something different than both of them did, so that way we have another option. I'm going to put graphite in these circles that we created, but I'm not going over that seed. I can always go over it afterwards, but I want to see. Let's just do this whole column here. Oh, that's kind of neat. All right, well, since I've started, let's do it in the rest so that it's consistent. And it just, because I just kind of sat looking at it for a little bit and thought, well, what do I want to accentuate? What's the best place? I almost kind of like it even without shading. So you don't always have to put shading in if you don't want to. Because sometimes I don't know. Especially with a pattern like this that's kind of, I'm going to call it geometric. And has a lot of almost like equal parts of filled in and not filled in. Sometimes that is just fine. Like I said, find the way it is. But this kind of looks neat. Just doing something with these, these circular bits. And two, because of the way this tangle is, what I like about it is the overlapping. So the overlapping of the seeds and the overlapping of the diamond shapes, I think is just, it's neat. And then having, the alternating of the colors, the way she has them, I just think it's neat. And so I thought, that's what my thought process was. Well, I don't want to wreck it isn't the right word, but I don't want to wreck it. Oops, sorry. And I want to accentuate it. So so that looks kind of cool. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do the like, share, subscribe, and all of that. If you do decide to subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell so that way you can decide how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all. And also in the description section, ways to connect with me. If you really like Zentangle and you'd like to, I do both free classes online and paid classes online. Would love to have you join in on that fun. Information is, of course, on my website. We also have a nice Facebook group that was called Tangle Addicts Community, and the link is also in the description section. So with that, thanks so much for watching again, and I wish you happy tangling.